Hello, it's the girl without the intros and the welcome to my channel, welcome back. If you're new here, please, I don't even know how that goes. Today, we are answering your questions about FIFO work. There's so many questions. If you don't know, follow me on my Instagram to get a little bit of context of why people are asking these questions. I've recently started a new job in FIFO, mining to be exact. This is very popular in Western Australia, but it's male dominated, as you would imagine. I'm up in the Pilbara region. If you still don't know what FIFO is, it basically stands for fly in, fly out. So I work away from home at a mine site somewhere really remote in Western Australia. But let's dive into the questions. So there are these two questions that are sort of similar, so I'm going to bunch these ones together. First one is, where do the kids stay if both you and Baba, my husband, are doing FIFO, because we both do fly in, fly out? And they're saying, I'm sure you've been asked this before. And another person was saying, oh, what have I missed? Is hubby staying home now? So these are people that are following me on Instagram and have seen all the pictures of Bub. They've seen me since I was pregnant. Each and every day I was giving updates. So they know there's a new baby. He's now 9 months old and he's still breastfeeding. Another one is, do you need a babysitter? Who's going to take care of the boys? Well, the 5-year-old takes care of the 9-month-old, and then he gets them both ready, gets himself ready for school. The 9-month-old drops off the 5-year-old at school, and if he wants, he can stay all day, and then they go home together, and that's it. Simple. I'm kidding. I've got my mom who's come to help out with the kids. Simple. There's nothing interesting or juicy around that arrangement. But yes, if you want to babysit, I am totally open. I'm sure my mom would want a break, so yeah, totally open to babysitters. I'd love that. The second question is, tell us about the FIFO. Is it actually where the money is? Because I might leave low for the bag. Well, I don't want to lie and be like, oh, and try and be all modest and go, oh, the money is okay. Money is good, and everybody knows that. I mean, mining makes a lot of money. You just need to Google it and see how much iron ore makes in Australia, the profits, how much it costs them. It's all public knowledge, so you can imagine that they also do pay well. And if you look back to COVID years around 2020 2021, iron ore, or maybe let me say mining in general in Western Australia, was actually holding up the economy of Australia at that time. So there is a lot of money in mining, but it's also about how you position yourself, and obviously also what you do, the type of rosters. Obviously, the reason there is a lot of money in fly in, fly out work is that you get site allowances, and site allowances because you're working away from home, so they will compensate you for that on top of your base salary and all the other benefits that you get depending on which company you work for. So I mean, and you don't have to really have mining experience per se. People think if I work for a mining company, I would have to have some kind of trade or mining experience or engineering. My background is engineering, but I worked for a bank for about 6 years. So you don't really need mining experience per se. Is it labor intensive for women, or are there roles that are a bit lighter for women? Well, I don't know. I think maybe that's not quite the right question to ask. I don't think you would want to be given a job because it's lighter for women. It's already so male dominated, and there are barriers that I feel women need to break and should break, and barriers that have been there for generations in industries like mining or engineering in general. So I wouldn't be going into mining wanting or asking for something that's lighter or easier for women, because I feel like that sort of sets us back from that whole equality and whatnot. So I'd say maybe the mindset needs to change, and I don't think there's anything in mining that a woman cannot do. I mean, there are lots of women here that are doing trades. There are women that are like fitters, crane drivers. There are women that are driving the big haulage trucks, and women that are going into the pits and all of that. So there's nothing here that I think is too intensive for a woman to do. It's just about your mindset, your can-do attitude, what you want to do and what your career aspirations are, the experience that you'd like to get. And I'm all for putting your hand up to getting as much experience as you can and trying out different things just so that you can be a bit more well-rounded. So I'm not for, okay, let's just give me something that's light and women friendly or anything like that. Did you have to leave your industry completely, or you found something related to your previous field of work? So my experience and what I specialize in, which I think is a transferable skill, again, look at your skill set and see what it is that's transferable. There are a lot of things like people skills and all of that, soft skills that are quite transferable to multiple industries. Mine is my project management experience. Even though I started off in engineering, I managed civil and agricultural projects for about 4 years, and then I did project management in the bank, which was another change. I've also done things like research. I've done contracting work for an employment creation agency. So I think all of that is stemming from the transferable skills that I have, and I think it's best to tap into that and see how that translates. So I've worked across multiple industries using the same toolbox essentially, and then picking up new skills as I go in whatever job or industry that I'm in. So yes and no. There are things that obviously, because I'm new to mining, that I am absolutely green when it comes to. I don't know, but I think it's more about, I know the principles. I'm an engineer. I know project management, but it's the way they do things in mining that I might not be very familiar with. And like I said, I've got a can-do attitude, and I think that goes a long way, being willing to learn and being very honest with yourself and knowing where you are and the things that you don't know, and being willing to lift up your hand and ask questions, even if you think it might sound stupid. But I would rather sound dumb for 1 second so that I can have a wealth of knowledge forever. So it's just about being able to transfer the skills that you already have and looking at areas where you can fit in, so you don't have to completely change. Although you can, there are a lot of people that I've met here that have done a complete change of doing something totally different and then you're learning new skills, and that's also possible, and that's also alright if that's the way that you want to go as well. But if you look at the skill set that you have, then you can also use that, your transferable skills, to translate into mining. And also, I mean, there are quite a few departments here, so even if you're, say, in law or finance or technology or just engineering, or or you're in trades, you're a sparky, all of those skills and professions are quite useful in such a big organization as these mines, or the big four mines that we all know here in Western Australia. Where there are also other professions or disciplines that I think other people sort of don't really realize are there in mining, that are not actually on the mine side. Things like hospitality, so the people that cook our food, the people that clean the rooms, the people that actually do the logistics as well, to make sure that, you know, our flights are booked properly, the accommodation is booked properly, you know where you are, where you're supposed to be. All of those disciplines are quite useful and places that you can actually slot in if you actually wanted a job in mining. There's another one again, and I guess the $1,000,000 question: is it more money? A lot of people, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people, as you say FIFO, they're like, ooh, you're coining it. I try not to lie, and I'm trying not to, like, you know, get all my very personal business all the way out there, you know. But the way it is structured is that you've got a base salary, and then you've also got site allowances depending on your roster, your location, for flying in and flying out and working away from home, which does happen. And there are also other benefits as well, depending on the company that you work for. But good tip, if you really want to know the numbers, you can go on sites like Glassdoor and just Google how much people make in mining. You can pick a discipline in mining and find out how much to make. Engineers, project managers, project engineers, supervisors, tradespeople, fitters, you know, drivers. How long have you been FIFO for? Actually, like I said, I started off in engineering, worked for 4 years, and then I went into banking. In between, I've done other things, worked in other industries like research and whatnot. And then so I went into banking after engineering for about 6.5 years, and I just recently actually started FIFO. This is my 4th week. Can you imagine? They call me green. And I am quite green. I'm not ashamed. And the last one, this one's very important because again, it's related to me being a mom, and I think this is important for moms that want to do this and you've just been second guessing yourself. This one is been thinking about this, but wondering how you manage the kids while you are away. Like I said, I've got help from my mom. I know other people have got different arrangements. I know couples that both work FIFO and they've got different swings. So one person goes away, the other one takes care of the kids, and then they swap over. And then, you know, that I think would be a little difficult because I don't think I'll be able to be away from my kids and then be away from my husband. Like, when would we ever see each other? But for some people it does work, but for me it's my mom who's helping us out, which is very nice of her because my mom's still young and she's still working. So it's quite the commitment for her. But it is a little bit, I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm a trooper and I'm like, oh, it's so brave and I'm, you know, all of that stuff. I don't want to lie, it is a little bit challenging. I do miss my kids. You know, one's 5, the other one's 9 months old, very young. So it is a little bit tricky. And you know, I'm missing things like milestones. He just started crawling the week after I came here, which is sad that I didn't see. And I mean, my mom could have easily just pretended she hadn't seen it and waited for me to come back. And but I think if you do it, you need to be sure that that's what you really want and you've mapped out a clear path about where you want to go. And for me, I would say it's not a long-term forever thing, so it's to achieve a particular goal. And that's why I'm okay foregoing some things, because I know where I'm going, where it's taking us, and what the plan is. It would be even more difficult if I was just doing it just because people say there's a lot of money in mining. I think I would be really frustrated, and I wouldn't be able to, you know, stomach the fact that, you know, I've left my kids at home for 4 days at a time every single week. Well, that's it for now. I hope it was helpful. And I would just say, like, it obviously my situation and the way we're doing it won't exactly be the right way for you, might not work for you. But feel free in the comments to check in any more questions that you may have. I want to do another video around breastfeeding, because I am still breastfeeding actively, while I am still doing FIFO, so maybe I'll do a video showing you how I get it done, basically, and still stay mom.